don't think it was really a choice. It's kind of like a...
Hello, welcome to Burdock Radio. I'm Keith Gostad hosting, and with me today is Cynthia Spencer, and she's here to talk a little bit about, well, about everything. Hi, Cynthia.
Hi, Keith. How are you?
I'm good. So I'm trying to start a poetry reading series here in this city. What do I do?
Start it, I guess. That's really what it comes down to.
Well, how did you start Cloudburst? I mean, how did you get that going off the ground? And talk a little bit about that, because you run a really good poetry reading series over at Foxglove Gallery.
Yeah, I guess it's good. I realized that I've been doing that for a year now. This June is going to be our 1 year anniversary. Was it June 16th? Anyway, I don't really know. There's no real method for starting something like that. I think you just decide that you want to do it, and then you do it, and you make a lot of phone calls and send out a lot of Facebook messages and bother people until it starts becoming a thing that just happens.
Right. Okay. Well, now I'm trying to remember all the people that you've actually had come through, because you've had a lot of visiting writers coming through.
Yeah.
And a lot of reading series tend to just have local people reading, but you have a really healthy mix, and you've curated it into...
Yeah, I mean, well, a lot of the visiting writers who come are really thanks to Edwin. He's the one who, Edwin Perry, has made a lot of connections with out-of-town poets, and he has done a lot to bring them in and helped me get started in general.
Right. And you and Edwin have collaborated along with a group of other people, and I guess myself included at this point, to create the Midwest Small Press Fest.
That's
and
right.
That's what I really want to talk about, because that's coming up really soon, June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
It's terrifyingly soon.
It
is happening.
I'm horrified. I don't know.
Next week, well, after this weekend, it'll be the next weekend. Yeah, it's, let me see. I don't think I actually have any brochures on me right now. No, I don't.
Oh, of course. I don't have any either because I'm smart like that.
Well, that's okay. I think I know pretty well what's going on. I mean, we're starting with a reading at Woodland Pattern, which is going to include a panel on surrealism in the Midwest.
Right.
Thank you. And readings by various people who fit that description, followed by a sort of surreal piece that we are still in the process of hashing out at the Nut Factory, which is an artist studio space up on Fratney and Keefe.
Yeah, I happened to get I actually got the Woodland Patterns newsletter in the mail, and it's got the mention for the event.
That's nice. I haven't seen this yet.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Check it out.
Yeah. Way to go, Woodland Pattern.
I guess you could just read off of that if you wanted to.
I could.
I mean, if you could read it like a New York City style language poet, or, you know.
Is that what they do in New York City?
I don't know.
Read.
I don't know anything. I don't know anything about poetry.
Okay, I guess I'll just read it now.
We're supposed to be awkward.
Yeah.
This is talk radio.
Okay. That makes me feel better, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So, first annual Midwest Small Press Festival. A group of writers, bookmakers, and artists in Milwaukee are planning an event to celebrate regional accomplishments in the burgeoning small press movement. The weekend-long festival will be centered around a book fair held at the Polish Falcon's Nest in the River West neighborhood of Milwaukee on Sunday, June 2nd, where presses and organizations will have a chance to show, share, and sell their wares. Ancillary events spanning Friday, June 1st through Sunday, June 3rd include a spelling bee, word-based performances, and gallery showings.
Now, what I really want to know is how you do in the spelling bee.
Well, I did a spelling bee at the Public House a couple of times.
Who wins these usually? Is there a person that wins?
There was. Both times there was someone who won. I don't know, just whoever was the best speller and able to stick it out, and I guess a lot of it has to do with the words that you get to. I haven't totally perfected the science of ranking words from easiest to hardest because, you know, people are educated differently, so that's always tricky, But yeah, basically what I'm doing for this one, because I was told that the list that I used for the first spelling bee was a lot too hard for people, because basically what I did was go through the National Spelling Bee word list and pick out words that I thought were interesting, meaning ones that no one has ever heard before, basically. And I was using those because I'm mean.
I have yet to get to a spelling bee. I don't.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna make it.
But for this one, I'm thinking, you know, it's going to be full of poets, right? So I'm just going to, like, pick the craziest words I can think of. And if nobody knows them, at the very least, people will probably, you know, care, hopefully.
Right. Well, this is going to be the mother of all spelling bees, is what you're basically telling me.
Yeah, it is.
So that's what I'm actually looking forward to a lot. I'm also looking forward to, well, I can't make your Cloudburst, which is at Foxglove, because I've got not competitive, just an alternate event, because we're trying to make this a festival that's like neighborhood wide. It's not competitive. I have a Burdock reading at Jackpot Gallery, and you have a Cloudburst curated event at Foxglove. Now, who's reading at that?
It's not really a Cloudburst. I mean, we have a bunch of different stuff happening during that. There's gonna be a few different presses represented. There's going to be a panel on women poets in the Midwest, and then we're having readings by Switchback Books, and Plumberries is doing a couple of chapbook releases, and and there's I guess for that one there's going to be a general focus on women. That's because that's the focus of the panel, women poets in the Midwest.
Right. So do you know who? I know there's like a power hour. I think the power hour. Drop some names for me. I want to know.
Switchback. I'm trying to remember. I wish I had my brochure with me, because I honestly, there are so many names that I just don't remember all of them. I mean, I know that I'm reading with Switchback, and I'm also reading in Burdock, so I'm gonna have to do a little sprint across town.
Mine's starting early. Like I'm starting at.
Yeah, that one is like at the very end of the night, so it won't be that much of a problem. But I also want to see this panel.
Right. No, that's an impressive lineup of events. And so what's going on Friday night for the opening gala? That Woodland Pattern. What's that? I see one name I recognize. I see Dembski's name. I can read his name upside down from over here.
One would hope so. Yeah, it's Strange Cage is the press that curated that particular reading. So we have Russell Jaffe, who's the co-editor of Strange Cage, Leslie Wheeler, and our very own Nick Dembski, who we all adore, followed by Surrealism in the Midwest. So we thought that would be sort of fitting, knowing Strange Cage and Dembski's work. So that panel is going to feature, let's see if I can pronounce all these names, Jason Lee Brown, who just edited an anthology called News Stories from the Midwest. Michael, I have no idea how to pronounce his name, Shiznajewski, something like that. Rebecca Mackay, Sarah Elizabeth Shantz, and Rachel Swearingen.
Okay. So, if you're listening to this, and you like any of those people, and even if you don't like them, in fact, if you don't like them, you should definitely come.
Well, what you should do is,
I don't know,
sometime in the next week, go to Woodland Pattern, pick up one of the brochures that has the full schedule with the entire list of everything that's going on, and then come to things that are intriguing, because, there are a lot of readings, but there are also going to be a lot of sort of interactive workshops. MC Highland from Double Cross Press in Minneapolis is hosting a bookbinding workshop, and she is just totally awesome.
And that's at the Cream City Collective?
That's at the Cream City Collective, that's right.
Which is kitty corner from the Polish Falcon.
And across from the River West Co-op.
Right. And so everyone, like small presses galore, we're just going to be tabling that afternoon of the 2nd from noon to 6. And people can stop by and just check everybody's new wares out, and hopefully make some purchases to help support the small presses and just support the festival in general by checking out as many things as possible.
I mean, that's the idea. We just wanted to expose people to all of this amazing art that is being made in this region by people really just on their own steam. I mean, poetry becomes very academic and very sort of separated from people, but the small press movement to me is all about individuals who just want to create things and get it out there just for the love of it, not out of trying to reach for any kind of commendation. And outside of an institution, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's a really good way of putting it. So I'm going to rewind a little bit and talk a little bit about your own poetry and just a little bit about you, so people know who you are.
Oh, me?
This is it's not your first podcast in the world. I know you did one for Conium Review.
Yeah, that's right.
But we
that was easier. There were drinks involved.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. This is
That's okay.
I think I've just had orange juice today. I didn't put any vodka in it, so.
It's okay. I know you can't drink anymore.
Yeah. Life. So.
Life. Anyway, we were talking about something.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about
you.
You have a copy of Finn in front of you.
I do.
Can see.
I had it autographed by everybody who's in it.
Did you really? I didn't autograph it. I don't remember doing that.
I see your name here.
Oh, okay.
Unless somebody faked
Kristen is nodding at me, so apparently I did. Yeah. So this book that I'm now holding in my hands was a really fun project that we are currently working on producing more of these because we are completely out of them already. Anyway, it was a group written by a new poetry collective that a few friends of mine and I are
their names.
doing. I'm getting there.
I'm sorry.
Kristen Peterson is standing right in front of me. She's doing a very strange dance. She clearly doesn't want to come up to the microphone and say hello. Chelsea Tadieski is also a part of it, Bethany Price and myself.
Right.
So this came out of chance completely because Plumberries was printing a completely different chapbook and realized that the size of it that they were working with was going to leave this amount of paper. So rather than waste that paper, this like 3 inches or something, he just came to me and said, you know, do you think that you guys in this vibe group could write something that would fit here?
And he is Mr. Plumberries?
Mr. Plumberries himself, Edwin Perry. Yeah. Edwin, he came to me because we live in the same house.
Shh, don't say that.
Should I not say that?
No, you live miles apart, and he never heard of you before this moment.
Wow. No,
I'm kidding. No, it's a great poetry collective up there at the Laundry Chute.
Yeah, we've done... My favorite thing about all of this is the opportunity to work on collaborative performances.
Yeah.
And so the Finn book, part of it came from this sort of like stream of consciousness exercise that Chelsea did, and then where she basically wrote these columns of words, and then I, seeing that, noticed that they were missing conjunctions and prepositions and all the words that you don't really think of that also like make up a sentence. So I basically put a bunch of those scattered about a page, and we superimposed the two, and then we had these 2 other completely awesome in and of themselves poems from Kristen and Bethany that we all sort of threw it all in a pot and stirred it around, and out came Finn. And then on the night of our release, where we also had Julie Carr reading at the Laundry Chute,
right.
Yeah, we performed it basically in that way, as though we had thrown it all into a pot and stirred it around. And
yeah, I was impressed by that. What I'm impressed by is the collaborative poetry that goes on there, because I had never been a fan of like collaborative poetry before, and first times that I started going over to the Laundry Chute, I started seeing more of that and kind of seeing how it could work without being, I guess, awkward and kind of rigid. There's a certain rigidity to a lot of collaborations, I noticed, because people are trying to fit one another more than they're trying to, I guess, experiment. I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, my earliest experiences with collaborative poetry were very much like that, where, you know, we were just trying to figure out a way to make 2 disparate styles work together, where I feel like with the Vibe group, we don't really do that. We just sort of write our own things, and then we sort of figure out after the fact how they can interplay and the ways that they are related without trying to force it, just sort of noticing these things about each other.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, in this example, I definitely did write something specifically to be connected to what Chelsea had already written. But generally, the kinds of pieces that we do, you know, we have 4 discrete poems from each of us, and then that are all around, you know, a central prompt or a central theme, and then we sort of...
I like the way it was performed particularly, because everybody, it was like a choir or something, where everybody's part came in at different times, and sometimes things were coming over, words were coming in over the top of another poem that was being read underneath it. It was really cool.
I've always liked that.
Yeah.
You know, for years I have wanted to put together like sound choirs and choral readings of things. I mean, the thing that I've been talking about doing forever and have never done and maybe never will is the opening monologue to Under Milkwood by Dylan Thomas.
Right.
Getting, you know, a group of 25 people together and separating out parts and practicing it, and, you know, doing a large-scale choral reading of that, I think would be amazing and really fun to do.
You will have time for this by June 4th, which is your feature at Linneman's, or not? No, okay.
No, not by then.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe after, I was just telling Kristen, after the press fest is over, there's going to be a gigantic void in all of our lives, because all I've been thinking about for the last 6 months. So maybe that'll be my next project after the press fest.
Right. Well, and then you've got, I just brought it up, but it's immediately after Press Fest, which is the 1st through the 3rd. On the 4th, you're going to be the feature at Linneman's, and you're going to get to read a bunch of your pieces.
Yeah, I haven't done like a solo reading in a really long time, actually, so I'm excited for that. I have some new stuff that I think is going to be really fun to read through the microphone and everything. I also never read through a microphone except when I'm at Linneman's, so that's also fun.
Okay. Well, do you want to... I couldn't find the other chapbook that you had, so that's why I brought Finn.
Oh, that's okay.
And I was trying to see
I wouldn't want to read from the other chapbook anyway.
If I could ring you to get into, maybe reading something. Like.
I could. I mean, I can't really read from Finn without another voice, just because the piece. But Kristen is volunteering.
Kristen would do it.
Kristen would do it. Here, let me...
This is Kristen Peterson, ladies and gentlemen.
Are both of these on? Can I just move over?
I believe so.
Okay.
Just hop over. Although there's only one set of headphones, so I don't know if you'll...
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, this microphone was working.
Yeah.
All right, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you manipulating the microphone.
Lovely. All right. How do you want to do this? Do you want to read your...
Do Chelsea's part?
You're going to do Chelsea's part? Okay. So the cool thing about this is the way that it is on the page. It's very much like up to you what order you read the words in. Mm-hmm. So given that we haven't discussed this beforehand, let's go.
That's the nature of it.
Yeah.
Right. I'm the bolded.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the bolded. Okay.
She is the bolded. The of
Pivot,
and to
readable, rotate.
All in.
Stale.
So.
Fogged.
Should.
Sleeved. Exchanger.
'Cause about.
Immediate.
With.
Nails.
If.
Pillar. Reach.
Why.
Wholly backwards.
Be
Cheek
up.
Pained.
Meanwhile.
Thicken. Heels.
Around
comma,
it.
Singular gulp.
Unless.
Happen slow beneath.
In so far.
Each.
Are out.
Infinite.
Till.
Function.
Though.
Engine. Root.
Even if.
Neat.
Whether.
Married.
Both.
Pasture.
And you.
Adrift.
As far as. The could.
Burning.
That.
Houses.
Sort.
Adrift.
Is here.
What's
when.
Tender.
I.
Quack.
At.
Hinged.
From the of. Or to either.
White. Narrow.
How it.
Enfold.
As
hooks,
above.
Spotty serve.
Is.
Dull.
At the close.
Hostile.
To
Valuable,
my. Someone.
old.
In
Toothed,
the. All.
many,
On
broad,
there.
bald,
An.
vowel,
Of
rug,
it.
rise,
Like.
pale, dumb,
I to.
pulse, bottomless,
The of.
glide,
And in.
hat,
Over.
horse,
Was.
nurse,
At his between.
mouths.
That's it.
I can't clap for all of our listeners, however many there may be, because this is the first show. But hopefully people will check this out on podcast so that they can hear you guys. That was really great, Kristen. Thank you for coming up at the last second.
Just so everyone knows, that was Chelsea Tedeschi's writing.
Okay. Did you have a poem in here, though?
She does.
Yeah.
Would you like to read yours?
But it's not collaborative.
It's non-collaborative.
But it's in the book.
Should we make her do it? I don't think we can.
If she wants to do it,
you want
then she should do it.
If
If there's any tiny part of you that wants to do it, then you should.
You read a poem.
I can't. Okay.
You can? Kristen Peters.
Of course you can.
Pick a number 1 to 3.
3.
Right. Okay, I guess. Do that. All right. Someone titled this as Histrionic Preference, and I think I prefer that title. So here goes. Umlauts, Paraguay, cant and spreading o'er 2 weeks. Our persona's home war. Coitus interrupter, repleting, Germans with no words for feeding and concrete. Too many mouths singing for their supper. Our Finns, our entombed porpoises on leave, bottled, hard-boiled, fur on fillet, to reset in the sector of patience. I can hear myself talk. This is super cool. Sorry, hiatus. Okay. Okay, our darlings, my darlings, your darlings, North Africa hot held. It is rinse and repeat with these ranch hands, paid by the pence. Like prime ministers installing suicidal prime ministers, bogged down by a simpler Winston, mink-made model, jostling phrases to jot down for ghostly swing hipsters. They say swing Heil. They say cool your jets, Otto. That's a section.
Excellent. Thank you. All right. So, thank you for coming on, Cynthia.
Thank you
and
for
thank you,
having
Kristen,
me.
for showing up last minute notice and, busting out some great stuff.
My friend Susie Jones. I call her that for no real reason.
Good reasons.
I want to
Thank you
give a
for having
nickname to
us.
somebody. I don't know. I don't have anything good right now. But thanks for listening for the moment. We'll be right back with Evan Marashevsky.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome back. My guest now, at this time, is Evan Marashevsky. Say hello, Evan.
Hey, Keith.
Hey. You might know him as NTSC of the November Criminals.
Most likely
You
not.
can be a little bit more excitable. It's okay.
Hey, Milwaukee. Hey, River West.
How are you?
How's everybody doing today on this lovely, what is today, Thursday?
Yes,
Thursday.
the Thursday.
The inaugural session of Burdock Radio.
So, I don't know. How'd that last segment go?
The last went really, really well. Yeah.
I felt like I was stumbling along.
No, the mighty Cynthia Spencer, a great guest to have on first and foremost.
Right.
Talk about the Press Fest. It's exciting things going on in Milwaukee.
I'm really happy about that Press Fest. I'm really happy that Burdock 11 is going to be taking place literally right across the street from where I'm broadcasting at this moment at the Jackpot Gallery. Saturday, June 2nd. Come on down, 7 p.m. Oh, man. I'm exhausted. I'm glad I got you here, man.
I'm glad to be here.
Well, Evan, let's start off by talking shop. You play the melodeon, which is a diatonic. What is it?
Diatonic button accordion.
Diatonic button accordion.
You were going to say it. You know what it is.
Yeah, I know. But I wanted you to say it because it sounds sweeter coming out of your lips. When did you start playing the diatonic button accordion?
It's a long story if you want to hear it.
Well, let's go for the. What is it? We got 20 minutes left.
Slightly abridged.
Let's go for the mildly abridged. Don't do the. There's a part in his life story, because I know Evan quite well now. You get a harmonica, cross-country road trip with parents.
Yep.
Plays the harmonica the whole time.
Yep.
Drives his dad crazy. They drive off a cliff. They have to get a new car. He drives into a river. They get a third car. And then I think at one point you guys are on a duck that you got at Wisconsin Dells.
Yep.
And you continue to play the harmonica as you cross Lake Mendota.
Yep.
To get to Milwaukee. I don't know why, because I think you were coming from the East Coast. I don't know why you guys went all the way out to the Wisconsin Dells before you came home.
Our direction sense is just terrible.
It was crazy. So it started off with the harmonica, and you really liked the sound that made, and somebody gave you Creole music?
Yeah, it was in high school. I took 4 years of French. Shout out to Monsieur Radke, who taught me, and despite me being a little snot-nosed, high schooler, I learned to speak French pretty well.
Right.
Anyway, there was always.
Wait, can you speak French?
I used to be. I'm not going to say fluent, but I'm going to say,
just say,
capable.
Just say.
Mais oui.
Oui.
Je parle un peu le français. Anyway, as with all language courses that aren't Spanish, they need to at some point teach their students or try and convince their students that the language they're learning is useful in the world at large, not just in the country of origin.
Right.
And the chapter in Allez Viens, which was our textbook, all about where French was spoken globally, included, of course, our native soil of Louisiana.
Yeah.
And the CD that was included with our text had some Zydeco and Cajun music on it. And that sound, it's completely, it would take a true poet to describe that sound of the Cajun accordion.
We don't have any of those here now.
I don't have it in me to even try. But that sound absolutely mesmerized me, and so I saved up and I bought my very first Cajun accordion, which is a melodeon.
Yeah.
It's a German-style ariette, I think is what they're called, which is definitively French. So it's funny that it's a German-style accordion.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, okay, so you've German-style Cajun accordion?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, it certainly doesn't.
Okay,
But
never mind. Well, there
you go. And then it was basically all, it's all history from there.
It's all uphill from there.
Got my first Honer, little gorgeous black Honer with red bellows, and I played that. And to my surprise, I think I've mentioned this to you before, because I know you're a fellow harmonica player. It plays very similarly to a harmonica. You just use bellows to breathe instead of your own lungs.
Right. And you had a concertina for a while.
Yeah, I was kind of trying out all the different, free reed, bellows-driven instruments for a while to kind of see which one fit. So I tried the Cajun accordion first, and then I kind of fell in love with some of the English-Irish concertina music, and so I picked up a concertina from Baldoni's.
Shout out to Baldoni.
Shout out to Baldoni's. Lucky to have him here in Wisconsin. And that was really great, but I had to upgrade from my first concertina, which only had 2 rows of buttons on the treble and the bass side, up to a 3-row, which you saw eventually with that gorgeous mirror plating on the faces.
Oh yeah.
Because that had all the accidentals that I needed to play a lot of the English music that I wanted to.
Oh, that's the one that's up for sale at Baldoni's.
It's for sale at Baldoni's, folks. If you want to go get a gorgeous mirror shine concertina, you can.
I played that a little bit in the shop, both the times that I went up there with you, and it was amazing. Because the one I have at home is a borrowed one, and it's spring buttons and cardboard bellows. It's a fun little toy, but man, it's not made of leather and shined up, and Oh God. So that beautiful piece of beautiful instrument.
As much a piece of art as it is an instrument.
Exactly, it's a piece of art. Okay, so melodeon versus an accordion. We should just clear that up real quick because it's diatonic. That means
Yeah, okay. So a diatonic button accordion means that when you push the bellows in versus pulling the bellows out, you get a different note.
okay. Therefore, like the harmonica.
Exactly. Whereas a piano accordion, which most people are familiar with, has the same note whether you're pushing or pulling.
Right. Okay. Now, let's get down to brass tacks.
Let's do it.
You played this thing for how many years? 15?
No.
10?
Well, shoot, maybe.
2 years? No, 15 months. He picked it up last week.
When did I get my? I got my first one sophomore year of high school, and
How old are you now?
graduated in 1999.
If you were a sophomore, you'd have been 15. If you're the same age as me.
Well, around 16, I think, if I was a sophomore, because I'm older than you are, I think.
See, I was right.
Maybe by a year.
So you've been playing these.
Shoot,
kinds
I've been
of
playing.
instruments.
Oh, that's just so embarrassing because
Stop.
I should be way better at this instrument
Folks,
than I am
this is-
currently for
this
as
is-
long as I've been playing.
You know, Evan, this is kind of how he talks about himself. I should be better. I should be better. He won the 19th Street Coffee House Midwinter Talent Show. On the judging panel sat Larry Penn, who I admire, and you know, 3 other people, including a published poet, a record label rep, and a past winner of the contest. And you were up against some stiff competition. The Bob Drucker duo.
Bob Drucker and his partner Aaron, I thought for sure they were going to. What an incredible pair they are! They are so talented, and they're great singer-songwriters. And then when they harmonize, I'm sitting in the audience applauding, thinking to myself, if these are the guys that are going to beat me, I am well defeated. I'm pleased to be beaten by them.
They had a beautiful song. It's just like it was so country. It was about a dog that a guy gets and the dog dies, and the one guy handled the man's voice, the other guy handled the dog's point of view, but it was just so it was exactly what a country song should be. And I remember hearing that and just being like, oh, sorry, Evan.
Yeah.
And then you got to go up and you just hit a home run in your performance. You started it off with, I'm trying to remember this now. Did you do the
little Cajun accordion.
The Cajun stomp with the little Cajun accordion.
Yeah, one of the first ones I ever got.
Oh, and that brought the audience right into it. Then you recited some Chaucer, I believe.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can do that off the top of your head is kind of amazing. I still have I can't even commit anything to my memory unless it's my social security number. And even that I have to be coaxed to cued. And then, what is it you closed out on again? It was a...
Was it El Condor Pasa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. And I think everybody really enjoyed that. So...
That's one of those songs that everybody remembers that they really like, but nobody remembers exactly what it's called or what it's about. It's just it's so pretty, and everyone really likes it.
You remember the words
memorable
to it, but then not unless it's playing on the radio at that moment.
Yeah.
You know the words. It's one of those songs because I've heard it, and I was like, I know that song, and then I just think I know these words. But if you stop me on the street and ask me to sing it, I wouldn't be able to do it. So the fact that you committed that to memory as well is pretty amazing. And the ability to transform it onto the melodeon that you did.
What's really funny is when I was practicing that a few days prior to the contest, I was practicing in my apartment, and my girlfriend, Sarah, looks at me and goes, "Is there an accordion in that song originally?" And I'm like, "No, I don't. I think it's all... It's like flutes and a stringed instrument of some kind." And she's like, "Because it works really well. It just feels like it belonged somehow." So I think that was one of the signs I needed to hear to let me know it was going to actually go over well.
Right. I think one of the things that I've noticed about playing on the button box there, the button accordion, is that if you just all you have to do is like play it with the right kind of feeling in a way, and you can usually take almost any song and make it work. I don't know Enter Sandman would work, but...
you put enough effects pedals on that bad boy, it might actually happen.
Well, that's another interesting fact. See, now, he's also a member of, full disclosure here, we are in a band called the November Criminals. It's a polka hip-hop band.
It's the polka hip-hop band, people.
It is the polka hip-hop band, isn't it? we actually have a show coming up this Saturday at Joyce Parker Presents down on 2685 South Connecticut at 3 in the afternoon. 3 in the afternoon, so we just nicknamed it the No Excuses Show.
This is the No Excuses Show. It's Saturday, 3 in the afternoon. What are you doing?
You're not doing anything.
You're coming and you're listening to polka hip hop. That's what you're doing.
That's what's going to have to happen on your Saturday. And then you can go have brats. But
you're going to want brats after this show.
You're going to want some brats after that show. Our third member, Spade One, a.k.a. Turn Tatum, is not with us today, but he's a rapper of some fame here because he's opened for Capadonna from Wu-Tang,
Army of Pharaohs,
Slick Rick, and he's traveled around the region some, and around the country, and I think around the world. I mean, going down to Jamaica.
He's global just within his own body.
Yes. I've never encountered a man with such positivity either. But that's a whole other. I think that's why I hang out with you guys. You know, so I don't have to go to a psychiatrist. I can hang out with guys that think positively.
The positivity
right
seeps out of our pores.
Yeah, and so hopefully that translates into our music a little bit. But you have. I have to talk about this. The music that you've heard today, in between the segments at the start of the show, is from your little solo project that you did, self-titled, or no, it was called Bald Spot.
Bald Spot. So it is kind of self-titled, yeah.
Yeah, I remember now. You had the picture of yourself on the cover, with an arrow pointing to the back of your head.
Yep.
And self-deprecation, folks.
Honesty.
Others call it that. Yes. Same thing. Anyway. Yeah, I really appreciated that CD a lot, and I put it on my little MP3 player here and brought it in with me so that you could hear some of it. I can't play any of the rap songs, unfortunately, because Evan has a little bit of a potty mouth.
Yeah.
And even though this is internet radio, we are aiming to make it an FM station, I believe, and at least keep it clean for the masses so that children can listen to this show and... other folks that just don't cotton to that kind of language.
I said shoot earlier, purposefully.
I can't tell. Have I sworn yet today?
I don't think so. It's funny how completely unconscious it is, isn't it?
No, because I was thinking about calling... I was thinking not doing Burdock at all, just calling it Trying Not to Swear for an Hour with Keith Gossett. And just that being the name of the show. And then having the 7 words and a picture of George Carlin crossed out like the Ghostbusters logo. I was going to have that on the table. Just to remind myself not to cuss. So I don't think I've sworn yet today.
No, I don't think you have.
No, that's pretty amazing.
I wouldn't know, actually, though. I mean,
well,
it's just such a second nature to hear it and say it. I think we're doing a pretty good job so far.
I think we're okay. I think, gosh, I just, I keep checking my clock. And then I have to make sure that I'm not swearing, and there's a lot of foot traffic out on this window. What else are we going to talk about?
What other bases did you want to cover?
I don't know. I wish I was more prepared, but this is kind of what happens to me. I get through things.
I'll wait for the next.
What are these guys talking about? They're very loud. One of these days, there's going to be a glass door here.
One thing we can talk about is
Yes.
How about the exciting developments in the November Criminals? We're going to start transitioning slowly away from just strictly the accordion and the beats, and we're getting a little more instrumentation, aren't we?
It's what way?
Instrumentation.
Okay.
And you're getting.
You hanging out with me too much.
Kind of
you're
your
slurring
foot in
your
there.
words.
Yeah, I'm starting to get the gum mouth.
You're getting the Gostad mouth. That's that stroke that's creeping up on you. You never know when it's gonna come, but eventually.
That's all the cheese in my diet over the years.
I'm just waiting for the type 2 diabetes to come and slap me down like the hand of God. You're done, sir. You lose.
Like the Crusher.
Good day, sir. like the Crusher. Yeah, so another inspiration has been the Crusher recently.
We have to write a song about him.
We do have to write a song
Definitely.
about him. I've always thought that this city should have had a Crusher statue long before a Fonz.
It's really a shame that the money... Oh, okay, I'm not going to say a shame necessarily. I mean, Arthur Fonzarelli definitely did his part in putting Milwaukee on the map.
Yeah, but so did Laverne and Shirley. I mean, let's be honest.
That's very true. I think I would have much preferred at least a Laverne and Shirley.
Right. I mean, they're doing everything else. I heard they got Dahmer tours now.
What?
They do.
Oh, come on.
I mean, they're doing every other thing. You can't give a man in his underwear with a cigar and a keg his due. I mean, it's ridiculous. What's this world coming to?
I would prefer Milwaukee be remembered for the Crusher over Jeffrey Dahmer or
I would too.
Gacy or any of that nonsense.
Well, Gacy was from Illinois, I think, right?
He lived in Milwaukee, though, didn't he?
Did
I think that's where he made his lampshades. I was
you're
pretty sure.
thinking
no,
of, what's his face?
Ed Gein.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Ed Gein.
He's the guy that Buffalo Bill's based off of.
Yeah, he was from Wisconsin.
Talk like this. Can you give me a hand with it?
Your Buffalo Bill is really kind of inappropriately good. It's a little scary sometimes.
That's the stroke voice. that's me having a stroke, actually. I can't feel my arm. You mean have this? Oh, wait. Am I a great big fat person? Is that why I have diabetes? No. It's terrible. This is devolved, isn't it? Maybe this is a sign. Maybe I shouldn't go an hour. Maybe I should just do a half hour. Or maybe I shouldn't bring my good friends in here because the desire to go off topic is too great.
That's true. That's true.
You know what we could do? We could have you play some melodeon.
We could do that.
I think we could do that. You might want to keep your headphones on so you know how loud you're getting.
Yeah, sure. Here, you talk about something
I'll
important.
talk a little bit more about the November Criminals. So, careful there. One of the things that I'm doing as a personal goal is I picked up the clarinet.
See, that's what I was trying to get you to talk about.
Yeah, but it's embarrassing.
Some
talking
gentle
about
prodding.
My lack of abilities on the thing.
It's a difficult instrument.
It's very difficult. I'm humbled before the clarinet, I should say. Yeah. It's hard to not squeak and squonk on the thing, but once you get the embouchure or mouth positioning, and you work on your tonguing and your fingering, eventually, yeah. What was I talking? Oh yeah, the clarinet. Got distracted.
The clarinet is a very distracting
I got
instrument.
distracted by the other things I was talking about. The very thing I was talking about distracted me from the thing I was talking about.
It's that kind of instrument.
No.
It's sensual.
It is sensual. Benny Goodman was a dirty man, is basically the...
I think of that
dirty.
opening clarinet part to Rhapsody in Blue, those notes.
Oh, yeah.
To me, it speaks of the steaminess of the streets.
Keep doing that.
The city at night.
Right. And for some reason, inexplicably reminds me of Homestar Runner in the old 30s version.
What doesn't remind you of Homestar Runner?
I don't know. The fact that this is a podcast. I never thought it'd be on a podcast. So what do you want to play now that you've got your
Well, there's any number of things that we know I can't play if we're going to try and keep this clean, which is a shame.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Evan does a song called the Porno Polka, which as soon as I learn the clarinet, I am going to be accompanying him.
That's going to be amazing.
And that'll be really a lot of fun. Spade 1 is talking about learning the bass, actually, too. And
it's going to be a hell of a band.
I think if he does that, I mean, it's going to change the dynamics, but I think in a very positive way. As it is, we got the ability to pick up, or Evan does the ability to pick up the melodeon, as he so chooses, to accompany us on songs. Puts it down. He can also rap. And, he can do whatever he wants. It's pretty great. So, one of the things he's going to do right now is play a song for us. What would you like to play? Whatever you want. What comes to your mind?
I know. We'll do an instrumental. How's that?
All right.
Does that sound okay?
Yes, sir.
Should I end this down?
No, don't.
No?
You'll be fine.
It'll be fine. All right, this is one that I learned from the CD that you gave me of Peggy Mueller. This is the traditional German march, the Gefährdermarsch.
Play it, sir.
Here on Burdock Radio.
Thank you, Evan. All right. Be back next week with Burdock Radio. My guest at that time will be Scott Johnson of 1913. And thank you for listening.